So in addition to a few things that we started working on in the Intro to Excel video, we have some new things to add in as well. So this is a spreadsheet of keyboarders, and so this is my keyboarding class from last year, Justin Bieber, Fred Flintstone, etc. So we're going to actually use their information of how many words a minute they could type the first day. I have captured how many words a minute they were typing at the end of the first quarter, end of the semester, end of third quarter, and end of year. So we're going to find a total for each of those and also figure out how much they've improved since the first of the first timed writing of the year. So we've got just some basic information here. We talked about how to assign a purpose to each of the cells using the ABC 1, 2, 3 button right here is the formatting. So we should change that to number to make sure that that is that those will stay numbers. I know that sounds a little bit confusing, but if you don't assign it a purpose and leave it general, sometimes things get a little bit goofy. So it's best to assign it the purpose that it's being used for. And we want numbers. Do we need the decimals? We don't. So we could do decrease decimal. If we had big numbers and it didn't automatically include a comma, or if it did and you didn't want it, just tap the comma style and it'll either take them off or put them on for you. Okay, so we've assigned it a purpose. We could assign column A as text, and same with row 1 is text. Okay, it already is, that's good. Sometimes Excel will guess correctly. It'll try to, kind of predict what you're using it for and do that. So if we wanted to select multiple rows, sometimes you will get little knobs here that you can use to select multiple rows. I think there's just a big old flaw in Excel. So if you don't get that, it should auto save. I mean, you can check to make sure that auto save is turned on. If that's not working, I would back out of the file and go back into it. Now, when we go there, we have these little handles. I know that seems super lame that we have to do that, but that's the only way I can figure it out. So if we wanted to select multiple columns and change the alignment, using the alignment to center, we could do that. Or we can select multiple rows, and maybe we want to make those rows a different height. So using the column, we want row height, sorry. Change that to make them all the same height, so they're not different heights. Because if you're just using, if you're just doing this for each one of them, the chances are you are not going to get them exactly correct and exactly the same size, and it'll look kind of messy. So it's best to select all at the same time. If you wanted to select the whole sheet, remember you can tap that little box in the corner with the arrow to select the whole sheet and make changes all at the same time as well. Okay, so we did not talk about borders yet. So if we wanted borders, remember these gray lines are not going to print, but if we wanted lines that did print, we would use the borders option right here. And we can choose all borders, an outside border, a thick one, bottom border, because it would only put a bottom border on what we have selected. So really it would just put it right below the totals. And likewise, if we chose left border right now, it would just put it on this left side, right side, it would just put it here. So it's not going to do it on every single cell. If you wanted it on every single cell, you'd have to choose all borders. So there's some other options here. You can also assign a line color. So you pick the color first, then you go back and assign what you want to apply it to. I know that seems a little bit backwards, but that's how it works. We can also assign some shading. So if we wanted to shade that top row, maybe the names. All right, if we want to insert a row above, just tap on the row or the column. So if you're adding a row, you would tap on the row below where you want it to go. It will always add a row above. So just click insert and it will automatically put one above. We wanted an extra row. Let's see here, in between F and G, we would tap G and insert one there. To delete, you just tap on it and delete. So, okay, so similar to when we, merged cells in tables, we can do the same thing here. So if we go back to the alignment, at the bottom here is merge and center. So now we can use this to create a table. So we could call this 20, oh, this was last year, 2020, keyboarding timed writings. Okay, and then, you know, obviously we would probably make some adjustments to the font size and style. Okay, sometimes, I'm just going to make this really skinny right now. You will see that your columns have hashtags in them. See this right here? That doesn't mean that you have an error. What it means is that your column isn't big enough to actually show the number. So, so that's all it means. Don't freak out. Just make your column wider. There is a difference between if we wanted, like if we selected this cell and chose, so line color is still red, so that should just stay red. If we wanted to choose a thick bottom border, so that put a very thick bottom border, versus an underline. The underline goes directly under the text. The bottom border goes on the actual cell border. So pay special attention if it's asking you for a bottom border that you don't just put an underline on it, or vice versa. There is definitely a difference. All right. Okay. So if we changed some of these and we decided, well, we wanted all the rest of them to be like this, we still have the copy and paste format option. So just click on Justin Bieber, copy. And then since all of these are in a row, we could do all of those together, paste special, and then we're pasting the format. That just means the style of the letters. We're not pasting the formulas, values, or a picture or anything like that. So just paste format. And then here it's cutting off Maryland. So I'm going to do that. Or if you double tap on it, it will also automatically make this column or row height as wide or narrow as it needs to be. All right. Okay, so now we're going to start with some formulas. We want to add all of the scores from the first day. So when we do that, we start every expression in Excel. All formulas start with an equal sign, every single one. When we add numbers together, we are looking for the sum. So to add numbers together, we are using the sum function. And then don't choose from this list. It tends to be very screwy. So after sum, do the beginning parentheses. So that's Shift 9. And then tap on the first number you wanted to add, and then select the whole range, and then do the end parenthesis, which is Shift 0, and then you can hit return. And it added those for you. So right here, that would be pretty easy to add those together, but if you're talking about really big numbers or a lot of numbers, that would be really hard. So let's do column C. So equals, we're looking for the sum of, so I always kind of think of those parentheses as of, that range of cells, end parenthesis, return. Equals sum, select the range, end parenthesis, return. Equals sum. You can also tab as well. That will also do the same thing. Equals sum, select the range, end parenthesis, return. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. Like I said, every single formula starts with equals. So when we want to look for improvement, we need to start with an equal sign, right? That's how all formulas start. So when you're looking for improvement, we're looking for the end, the first day, and then the end of the year. So we just need to subtract the first day from the end of the year to find out how much we improved. So subtraction's different. You don't use like a formula function name. All you do is tap on one cell, subtract the other cell, hit return, okay? So it's pretty darn easy. Subtraction is, that's the only one that doesn't use some sort of function name with it. So equals, tap, minus sign, that's it. All right, so now you're ready to do projects 1 and 2.